This is working. Yeah. All right. What's up, YouTube? What's up? Sorry, I was talking there. You couldn't hear me. What I was saying is, sorry I missed the stream yesterday. But people don't care about the stream really. They do care that they get their stuff on time. So I just kind of had to work through the streaming period, just to get a lot of orders out. There's just a lot of orders that I was behind on. I was waiting on harnesses to arrive, and then everything came in at once, which was a blessing. So I just had to get all that work done. But now we got all that work done, so we're back to streaming. Oh, we got a phone call. Let's see what's going on. Acura Audio Garage, how can I help you?
Hey, how are you? First of all, quick question. Hey, 2014 Honda Pilot.
Okay.
I was looking at something installed CarPlay into it.
Give me 1 second. Does it have navigation?
No.
Okay. Oh, it's got that weird looking radio. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a screen, like, pushed back. I don't really know how to describe it.
Yeah, I got you. I looked it up. Just give me 1 second. I'm seeing if there's a dash kit for it. I don't see a dash kit. Maybe on the second page. Okay. So you don't have navigation? What's on that top screen then?
What do you mean?
So there's like the radio and then a little screen above it. That little screen, what does that show? Just the climate and stuff?
Oh, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just, like you have a
The
speaker
temp
and stuff like that, and then,
Yeah, the temperature and then how fast it's blowing and stuff.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. Still looking into it. Okay, so there is no dash kit, but there are options that you can find online that you can install. Are you familiar with AliExpress?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so AliExpress, if you type in your radio, put in 2014 Honda Pilot CarPlay, you'll find like an Android unit that you could have installed. But there's no traditional support from like a shop would give you. Like basically, okay, so sorry talking circles. We're no longer in New York. I can't help you. I can't do the install. I was just looking to see if there's an option for you to do something. There is no traditional option, so if you go to any store on Long Island, they will not have something on their shelf to sell you. What is available for your car is on the internet on AliExpress. They make a Chinese unit that will fit into kind of the factory location, and it's an all-in-one which would integrate into your car. Those Chinese units all kind of have their pros and cons. I don't know the specifics to yours, but just know that if you do decide to add CarPlay that way, with that Android unit, there could be some issues or something that doesn't work correctly. You're going to have to rely on reviews that you see for the parts that you decide to buy, but it's only going to be off AliExpress. No traditional American company has any current solution right now.
Okay. And so you're not in New York anymore, right?
Correct. We moved to Florida.
All right. I was saying, if I go to a different radio place on Long Island, they would be able to install it, obviously.
Yeah, but just beware. Some people will not install stuff that they don't sell you, or they'll be really reluctant to install something from online because of like there's no warranty, no information for it, no troubleshooting, things like that. And the other thing that you can look at, you can do yourself, because your car has auxiliary inputs. It's something off Amazon called a CarPuRide. So CarPuRide, think like car computer, CarPuRide, and it's like they call them portable monitors, but it's like a wide inch. So picture your phone landscape mode attached on your dash at all times, and then it plugs into your cigarette lighter and it plugs into the aux port, and that will give you CarPlay from your phone on it, and it also will have like apps and stuff, and you can run it that way. The only thing with that is hiding the wires. You can do a very good job hiding the wires, so you run the aux like very behind the paneling, and then the cigarette lighter you might even just hardwire it, so that could be another option. Those are on Amazon. You get those pretty cheap. You could do the installation yourself, or you can bring it to the shop as well. But if you want something that looks more OEM, more integrated, then AliExpress is going to be your best option.
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
No problem, man. You got it. Take care. Bye. What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up? I got a haircut, but I didn't comb my hair this morning, so I just look dumb. Oh, what the hell? That was weird. My live stream didn't come up. To snap in. Can you? Okay. To the white inserts. Correct. What's up? What's up, YouTube? I think I'm gonna have to move the stream to 1. What's up, Miguel? I mean to 2, because the way the stream's working right now, it's like the way the schedule goes. My daughter usually goes to sleep around 11, so then she'll wake up right around 12:40, 12:50, and then like obviously as soon as she wakes up, I take her for a little bit, and then it'll end up being like 110, 120, and that keeps happening. So I might just move the stream to 2 so it works better with her schedule, because then like now my wife's cooking dinner, not dinner, lunch. So then she needs my help while she's making lunch. So I think it's going to make more sense to move the stream from 1 to 2 to 3, and then I won't be missing it. Well, I still might miss it if it's like super busy, but I won't be late. Because that's what sometimes makes me late. Sometimes I don't realize I'll be like 10 minutes late, but when I'm like 30, 40 minutes late, it's because something like that came up. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it to 2 to 3. Or I could move it to 11. I don't know. Yes, sir. Had to, man. Had to. Looking like a monster. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, when you appearance matters, man, and when you don't look homeless, people believe you more. So sometimes when I look a little homeless, people don't believe what I say as much compared to when I have a haircut. But you know how I know I'm getting old? Because now when I get a haircut, my head gets cold. That never happened to me before. freaking head is cold. All right. This is going in a 555. So what's up, YouTube? Today it's just more harnesses, more complete kits. I have a radio kit that I'm about to work on right now. You guys can check that out. But then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need to order some stuff actually, so we'll take care of that as well. And then yeah, we just got harnesses to make. All right, let's finish this radio real quick. So I also got some cool stuff to show you that I've been working on behind the scenes. So let me show you some of that behind the scenes stuff. All right, so this right here is a 2004 Acura TL. But I went on eBay and with my own money bought one of these. This is a radio from the Acura TL. It's a factory radio, right? But this is for 0708. And I made sure I got one with the plugs so I can test all the wiring. The reason why I got this radio is so that I can make sure that there isn't a difference between this and the 0406 radio when it comes to the GA net bus. So I want to make sure that's not a reason why my screen's not working the exact way that I want it to. So that will help eliminate that. Then a lot of people who want to install that Android screen have double DINs already. So on your double DIN, hold on, where the hell did I put it? Put it over here. Oh, chill. I can't lose that, bro. I threw it in here. Yes, I did. Okay. All right, so back to what I was saying. On the double DIN. All right. I lost it. All right, so you have an Acura TL. You don't have the factory radio anymore, but you still want to do that 9-inch screen. Right? So you want to do the 9-inch screen, right? That goes 9-inch screen where the nav goes, and then you have a double DIN already. So you want the 2-screen system, whatever it turns out to be. But for whatever reason, the radio you chose, like this Boss, does not have auxiliary in. Actually, I think this has aux in the front. They might have gotten rid of aux in. I don't remember if this has aux in or not. Yeah, this has an AV input, but some of them don't. So I'm looking at you, Sony. Sony's don't have auxiliary inputs. So you might be able to connect via Bluetooth. I'm not sure. I will test that. I will get a Sony radio and test that. Or just a general radio and test that. But what you do have is an XM input. So XM sends UART. This is something I learned, which is digital communication between the XM receiver and your radio via this 10-pin plug. So we finally figured out the pin out by taking this out. All the actual pins terminate and are labeled. I'll show you that in the actual video. So I can send audio through this to your aftermarket radio. We just got to make sure that it actually works. So we got a tuner to test with. So that's going to be another video portion. And then lastly, for the ILX, we are launching a campaign to sell dash kits, which includes a radio. So we're going to be doing the JBL Legend. But I already know the trolls are going to come out of the woodwork. So hold on, let me grab that too. All right, so JBL dash kit, the trolls are going to come out of the woodwork and say, hey, this big gap is ugly, whatever they usually say. So I have something to combat the trolls ready. We're going to do the JBL Legend in here. It's going to look really good, nice and flush, buttons down here, wireless CarPlay. It's going to be a good kit. I think a lot of people like it. But to combat the trolls and to actually just show the versatility of the product, I bought one of these cheap, huge units off Amazon. This is a 10-inch rotatable screen that will mount in front like this. I'll show you because this is actually a 10-inch screen over here. It's not a 9-inch screen. So basically, the video is going to end up with something like this, which I think looks ridiculous because it's going to be like floating in front of it like this. Like literally, I think this looks ridiculous. But there's someone out there who's going to want this big ass screen like this. It's going to sit like that when we're done in the car and it'll be angled up a little bit. I think this kind of looks ridiculous too, but doesn't look as ridiculous. But we'll see. We have some, I have some stuff planned. I have the stuff to do it. So yeah, look out for that. It's coming soon. But right now we got to go back to these orders. So let's finish this radio. Put this away. But all right, so this is for a TSX. So the TSX dash kit we don't make. I buy this from a distributor, and you can buy this on Amazon. I paid pretty much what you pay on Amazon, but this is the lower pocket TSX dash kit that goes in the center console down below the factory radio. The brackets are here, and then it comes with screws and an antenna extension. Really little decent dash kit, pretty nice, honestly. Nothing bad to say about it. Seal it up. Okay. Let's get the harnesses we need out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna heat this up. What did you say, Miguel? Do they make speaker for the RDX without replacing the system? Yeah. Our speakers that we sell, the speakers that we sell for the TSX will work for the RDX. So if you just order for 2007, yeah. I need to look at what speakers are in there. Because I think it's like a 2009 TSX. I'll check in a second for you. All right, the reason why we have to open this is so we can get the harness out of here. The new Boss radios come with a power filter in the harness. So I just like to use it. So I'm gonna take the harness out of here. So here's the power filter that comes with the new Boss radios. They also do resistive steering wheel controls now, apparently. I have not tested that myself, but we will. I don't think anytime soon we'll be able to do a video on that. But okay, let's close this back up. Let's make this harness quick. This harness should be pretty fast. It's pretty simple for the TSX. All right, let me sit my ass down. Bring you guys over here and then switch the cameras. All right, so first things first, we gotta just prep this harness. Oh yeah, I was gonna look for you, right? 2007 Acura RDX speakers. Yeah, 07 to 18. Yeah, so you're gonna choose, if you want speakers from us, you're gonna choose 2009 to 2013 TSX. Also, the brackets. All right, let me just bring this out because it's gonna be easier to show you that way. Okay, so here are the speakers. This is what they look like. These are the same speakers that are in the TSX. And then here's the connector in the back. And then it has those tabs that like slide down. They make a bracket, so you don't have to get the bracket from us. I think our brackets are better, but you don't have to get it from us. So you can get the bracket from Pack Audio Honda speaker bracket. So there's a video of me using these. They're not. Hey, look, let's go. Ours come up first, but they're more expensive. But this is them right here. the HSB 524, and this is wrong. It won't fit a 2007, but whatever. Yeah. I think. Yeah, HSB 524. So these are pretty simple to install. They mount just like the factory ones. You see they have the slide-in tabs as well. So you can pick these up and then a pair of speaker harnesses. Let's see if the reviews find anything that I have found where they end up breaking. Let's see. They should have fit on a 2012 CRV. That looks like it fit. What is this guy talking about? Oh, they hit the door panel. Okay, yeah. Damn, a lot of people complain about fitment. I've never seen those reviews. What has happened to me when installing these, not even like a Neanderthal type install or anything, is just you go to install and this little foot right here likes to break. That's what has happened to me. But people in those comments are saying that they've had issues with just overall fitment. But yeah, if you don't want to get these, I'm not going to click my own link because it's going to cost money, but you can get the brackets from us or you can just get the speakers from us. Here, this one right here. You click that, it costs me $3 or $4 or whatever it turns out to be. So I'm not doing it. But yeah, you can. We have the speakers. So if you go Mobile Max Car Audio, shop speakers, and then front speakers. Let's go JBL, and then 2009. I know it's just 2007, but this because you're choosing for actually RDX is in here, so you can just choose 2007 RDX, and then we'll send you the right stuff. I'm getting a phone call. Acura Audio Garage, how can I help you? I am back. Um, so yeah, but if you want to use your own speakers, just go read those reviews. Make sure that the speakers that you plan to use will fit. I think you can make any speakers fit in those. It's just a matter of cutting the little tabs. So I think when people are saying some doesn't fit, it's because they're not cutting the inside little tabs. Okay. Toma, toma, toma. Those are 3.5s. You can just get a 3.5 speaker. But where are the little ones in your car? Pillars. Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, I need to look that up. I don't want to give you the wrong thing because in the TSX they're tweeters and they're not full range speakers. So in yours it might be tweeters as well. Damn. Damn. Do you see that? Damn, bruh. All right, I gotta pay again. Anyone want to be kind enough to pay that bill? No, I'm just kidding, guys. Oh, 2007. Don't worry, this bill is paid. Acura RDX audio. That's what we're looking for. we should do speaker. Here we go, component location I'm looking for. Alright, this is what I want to see. That's the navigation system component, so. Since we went on the wrong thing, so let's look up speakers. And then let's see if we get component location on that. Of course not. Oh wow, that actually worked. That never works for me. Okay, cool. So you have left rear satellite speaker. Okay, and then okay, so Acura RDX satellite speaker. It's for 2013, 2021, 07 to 12. Rear left speaker assembly. Yeah, so no, these are like the MDX. So you have a 3.5. It's going to mount into those two. We have that connector, and it's going to mount into these two holes in the front. So the only thing is you might be a little limited in the depth. It looks like it's not that tall of a speaker. So you might actually want to grab 2.75 inch speakers for the best fit. So 2.75 inch speaker. So here are some options. Pioneer has some, Memphis has some. The ones that I've used that I like are the kicker mid-ranges. These are these right here. These we won't carry, but these have different adapter brackets. You see these different brackets here so that you can make sure that it lines up with the factory mounting. But it looks like the factory mounting is 3.5. It looks like that's where those holes would be. But in case it's not a 3.5, then you definitely want to have the versatility to be able to mount something else. So we don't sell these. These I would check out yourself to know. But all right, back to doing the radio. So let me go back to the desk. Let me put camera and swap them. And then I think I just got an email. Oh yeah, Spectrum. Okay, all right, so we prepped that. This is already good. We got to prep this. Oh, we got that blinding light again. It is what it is, right? Okay. So for this harness, we just got to take all the speaker wires out. And I don't unpin these. I just yank them out. The only thing is when you go to yank them out, you got to be careful because you will cut yourself. So literally when I say yank out, I'm just going to rip them out of the place. So I'm going to grab and just pull like that. And then when they're coming out, if you're not careful, they can scratch you or scratch other wires. I've explained on stream why I do this, but I'll explain again. It's because when people see extra wires that aren't connected, they automatically assume something's wrong for some weird reason. So I just take extra wires out to make the harness less bulkier and to make sure people don't get confused. I don't know why that is. They see a wire that's not connected, or they see a bunch of wires not connected. They don't connect something correctly. So I'll give you an example, right? They'll plug this into the back of the radio. They'll leave these disconnected, right? They won't connect these. And then these wires will all be loose or like off to the side. And they'll be like, oh, you didn't make my harness right. I have no audio. So to avoid that, I just remove unnecessary wires. Come on. All right. Parking brake still goes to ground because the bosses still don't need a bypass. We do have separate blues here, but we're only going to use the remote turn on, which is blue white. Excuse me. I do hate that they make these shorter than all the other ones. So we're just going to cut them all down to the same length, which means we're going to have to cut some of this off. And then we're not going to use the rear cam power or the front cam power, but we will use ACC. We will use this orange wire. This antenna wire is going to stay capped because we're not going to use it. And then reverse, we're not going to connect. So all our wires on this side of the harness are prepped. Let's add our steering wheel control wires to this side. The reason why for the TSX this has to stay a T harness if you're doing the factory radio is so that the factory radio gets power. You can still control your climate. Otherwise, you won't be able to control the climate info. That's why this is a T harness. You see male and female. If you're doing the Metro kit, though, you don't need to leave this connected. You can just leave it unplugged. This doesn't go into anything. But since obviously you saw the radio, they're doing a double DIN radio that goes below the factory radio. They need the factory radio to still work. Excuse me. So that's why this is I don't remember what I was saying now. Yeah, they need the factory radio to still work, so this is gonna get connected on both. I think that's what I was trying to say. All right. So gray to gray. No, so you can replace speakers on your factory amplifier. You just want to match the impedance of those speakers. So I don't know if you saw when I was showing you on the screen. I'll show you again. The RDX speaker says right here that it's 4 ohms and 15 watts. So when you go to choose a replacement, you want 4 ohms and it can at least handle 15 watts. So if you chose that kicker and I scroll down here, you'll see that the kicker is 4 ohms. Where the hell? Why does it not even say it anywhere? That's such an important thing that's not listed here. Okay, but it can handle up to 50 watts RMS. And if we go in the owner's manual, it'll tell us that the impedance is 4 ohms. Frequency rated impedance for the 2 3/4 is 4 ohm. You can see right here. Hold on, you can't see what I can see. Right there, I have it highlighted. So the 2 3/4 is 4 ohm. All these are going to be 4 ohms. So I don't know why that's not listed here. That's such a weird thing. It's like super important. Does it say in the title? Did I miss it? Yeah, I don't know how I'm missing it. It says it on the back of the speaker. Yeah, there we go. It says right on the back of the speaker. 4 ohm and then 50 watts RMS. So you know that those will work where this one goes. And that's what you want to match speaker by speaker. So these are 4 ohm. The woofers in the door are going to be 2 ohms. You want to get as close as possible. So like if you swap a 4 ohm with a 4.4, it's all right. Or if it goes down to a 3.3, okay. But you don't want to swap a 4 ohm with an 8 ohm. You don't want to swap a 4 ohm with a 2 ohm. Then you're going to start messing too much with the output of the factory amplifier that automatically will change depending on the load. So like on an 8 ohm speaker, it's going to be not as loud as a 4 ohm speaker, and then a 2 ohm speaker is going to be louder than a 4 ohm speaker. But if you change everything to 2 ohms, you might overload the amp, and basically since it's putting so much power out, it's going to heat up more, and then that heat will cause issues for your amplifier. So you want to stay within range of the ohmage. You want to basically be at the same exact ohm. So like these are 4 and 4. You want to grab 2 and 2, excuse me, etc. for the best, easiest, best swap to get. When I say best, is so you have the least amount of problems, and it sounds good. But do know, Miguel, that if you replace the speakers, you may not get the result you're expecting. So this factory system's designed, I know some people don't like it, they think it sucks, but it's designed pretty well. And the factory system is designed for the factory speakers. So don't get me wrong, they do make some cuts with speakers. the material, not putting tweeters in them, etc. They do make some cuts when they need to manufacture thousands of these systems. But if you choose a speaker that's cheap or not even just cheap, really, or it's not even cheap. I guess if you choose a different speaker, you may not make the right choice and it may not sound better than the factory does. So just be prepared for that. If you really want the best upgrade, you need to change the amplifier as well. But I know that's not something you may want to do right now, but just know like some speakers may not sound better than the factory speakers. And the 3.5s may be one of those. So like if you change the 6.5s, I think those speakers, if you go for the JBL or other 2 ohm speakers, you're going to have a good result. You're going to enjoy it. You change the tweeters. I think that's usually universally people accept that those sound better universally. Sounds very personal, but from my experience, most of the time, most people agree that sounds better. But if you do the 3.5s, I don't know if the 3.5s from Kicker are going to sound better than the 3.5s from the factory. That's going to be like your own perception of sound. Um, so just be prepared for that. What sucks about car audio is that you don't know how things are going to sound before you change them. And you do sometimes have to go through multiple pairs of speakers to find the speakers that you like how they sound. So just be prepared for that. It's part of the journey. It's just how you learn what you like. You can, it's kind of shitty to buy, install, and return. I wouldn't do that, but you can like resell. That's what I do. So like that 10-inch radio I showed you after I install it and we make the video with it, I'm just going to sell it. I'm not going to return it to Amazon. Sorry, my back is itchy for some reason. Okay. All right. So now this side is ready. We're going to start hooking up wires by color. Boss is pretty simple. They keep all their wires pretty straightforward. The only thing is those 2 camera wires, but they're labeled and you can read them. And then Boss does this thing where it won't strip or give you wires stripped that you don't know how to connect. So basically, their motto is make less connections and have stuff not work than make all connections and have stuff get messed up, if that makes sense. So like they don't want you to connect something that you don't know how to connect and then end up messing something up. They rather you not connect something and have something not work and reach out to support, which I kind of agree with that philosophy. Because if all the wires are stripped, when I mean stripped, look, you see reverse? Reverse is fully stripped like this. So they assume you're going to hook this up. It is labeled as reverse, but they assume you're going to hook this up. Antenna is not stripped. It has a cap. So if you don't hook this up, your antenna won't work. But you won't hook this up incorrectly and damage your antenna or damage the radio. And then the same thing with these wires right here for front camera and rear camera power. They have barrel connectors. So if you know what connects here, you're good. But if you don't, you can't connect these by accident and screw something up. And no offense to DIYers and no offense to people who do stuff on their own, but a lot of people, including myself, will not read instructions. You'll just start trying to connect stuff. And if you have a wire that looks like it's the same color, why wouldn't you think it goes there? And then boom, you screwed your radio up. So I think it's a smart philosophy that they made these changes, especially as they're getting more popular and dealing with more and more customers. But I also think that labels on wires are super important when they're not the traditional colors. So like, I wouldn't mind if they just labeled these wires right here. They don't have to label every single one because it's understood. But I guess that's an industry thing, not a person thing. Yeah, like someone who just bought this, I don't think they would know what the color scheme is. So it makes sense to have them all labeled. Okay. All right, so all this is ready. We can hit it with solder now. Sometimes it's hard to think outside of your perspective. Like when it comes to audio, I do it every day. So I'm like, oh, it's simple. But then I got to think, like, what would a person who's never done this before or did this 20 years ago think and assume? And it's hard to put yourself in their shoes because you don't know. You just don't know. Come on. All right, so all these are set. Just gonna slide this stuff over them. My shoulder's been killing me lately, YouTube. I'm not sure what it is. The way I'm sleeping or this probably what it is, sitting here every day like this. I'm gonna need to get a taller chair because I can't change my workstation. But I'm gonna need to get a taller chair so that I'm sitting up higher. I think so. I think that's gonna be my solution. I gotta read these messages real quick. You weren't kidding about all the audio controls on my radio. Almost, yeah. No, there is a ton of settings. A lot of research on camera and audio to get better mid and sub response. Sound effects section. Google what I said for our moderator. Do not turn on loudness or bass boost. Yeah, that's general good guidance, and that's what you'll find with AI. So I'm gonna chew, man. With AI, it's very good for generic stuff. So AI will give you a very good generic answer. But the answer in a lot of stuff in life is a lot more nuanced, and you saw it firsthand, Spark, where like that's general good guidance is never to turn on bass boost, never to turn on loudness, because they're going to boost frequencies in the low end and in the high end. So loudness usually will make your audio like this, where the actual medial frequencies, like around, let's call that from 3,000 hertz to 8,000 hertz, don't get boosted, but the low end gets boosted from 0 to like 2,000, or 0 to 1,000 gets boosted, and then your high end gets boosted a little bit. So loudness will make you sound like that, and it'll boost those frequencies. Bass boost, and it will boost the back end. So you're adding all this boost, and you are eventually going to clip your signal. But because all those settings are made to mesh together, you can boost your bass, but as long as you limit the overall audio volume, then you won't clip the signal, and you can have the signal that you want, which is like, hey, at volume 20, I want my bass to sound like it's at volume 30, but I want my mids to sound like they're at volume 25, but I want my tweeters to sound like they're at volume 10 because I don't like them that loud. So you can set that up by keeping your radio on volume 20 and adjusting all those different levels, the EQ, the bass boost, the loudness. But then what you will run into is, okay, at volume 20, everything sounds really good. But now I want everything to sound as it does with the balances that I've set up, but I want it to be louder. And now when you introduce louder from volume 20 to volume 30, now your bass output is getting clipped because you had it so much higher than the rest of the bass line. And your tweeter output is fine because it was already -10. So when you boosted it, it had no problem. But your mids are starting to clip, and then that's how you start damaging stuff. So what you found is pretty much the nuanced setup of how deep the rabbit hole will go, what you can set and not set. But if you look on forums, if you ask your traditional installers, they're going to just follow the guidelines because they're the safest. Just don't turn on bass boost. Don't turn on loudness. Don't positive EQ, negative EQ, meaning when you have your EQ and it's flat and you're like, hey, I want more bass, you actually decrease all the other levels and not increase your bass. There's a lot of general guidelines to audio to make sure you don't damage stuff, but the actual setup is a lot more nuanced once you get involved with every little thing. By Kenwood Engineer on all settings, you say you can go loudness on, just don't go above. Yeah, that's why I turn on Supreme, driver, equalizer, stage EQ. Yeah, man. Yep. It's so many freaking settings in there. But that's why I love Kenwood, just because all those audio settings, like someone, like, you know what I hate? When someone goes, oh, it just sounds so teeny. The system sounds so teeny now. It's like, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean, bro? Can you please tell me what that means? It just sounds so teeny now. What does that mean? Oh my God. Just PTSD from customers saying that. It just, my factory system sounded better. It sounds so teeny now. It's like, what does that mean? What does it actually mean? Are you saying that the tweeters are too high for your taste? You hear high end sounds too much? Does it sound like the high end sound is louder than everything else? Does it sound like you don't hear the mid bass? Is it the voices that don't sound full anymore? You feel like there's bass missing from people's voice. What does it mean? And people can't communicate that. Or they'll be like, oh, it's not, and it doesn't kick like it used to. It used to kick more. What does that mean, my guy? What does that mean? It used to kick more. Did you used to feel your subwoofer more? You used to feel like it would rattle your windshield, or it would rattle the rear view mirror more, or you felt like there's more punch in the door? You felt like the door was kicking you, like because of the punch from the door? What does it mean? And people have a very, very hard time communicating that. And tuning systems is, that's what it comes down to. Is being, it's not even like, do you know the settings? You can figure that out. Tuning systems comes down to, can you translate what an average person who doesn't know about audio means when they are looking for a particular sound? Can you understand the language they use versus what it actually means? But that teeny thing used to drive me crazy, man. I don't understand what, like, I just never knew what to do. Yeah, I'm happy you went down that rabbit hole and were able to find that information, man. Because then you'll get the exact sound you want. And that radio has all the capability to do it. Hey, what's up, NYC? How you doing, man? Good talking to you yesterday. I'm making a Boss radio right now. Miguel, sorry, unless I found some speaker in the junkyard. What do you mean? Oh, like you're saying like your speakers are blown and you're just gonna get used ones? Yeah, you can find them right on eBay or at junkyard. You know what? Let's ask ChatGPT. I'm not logged in though. But I'll ask Google AI. What does it mean when speakers sound teeny? When speakers sound teeny, it means the audio is dominated by high-pitched frequencies sounding thin, weak, and metallic. The richness and depth of low and mid-range frequencies are missing, creating a irritating, unbalanced sound. A damaged woofer, damaged speaker components, lose a faulty wire, proper wire. Yeah, nothing about tuning. All about high-pitched frequencies sounding thin, weak, and metallic. How does something sound metallic? Okay. All right. Let me just move on. Let me move on to finishing this harness. So now we're gonna zip tie it. Also, can you tell me the title of that video you found for the settings? I'd love to watch it. Okay. Apply some tape right here. Oh, the other one too is like, oh, my subs used to hit harder before. They used to hit harder on the other amp. They just used to hit harder. And it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? Hit harder. Like, you felt the bass more in the cabin. It used to rattle your trunk more, so you thought it was more power. You felt more pressure in the cabin. Is it a certain note or a certain song that would feel more powerful? No, it just used to hit harder. They're hitting pretty hard, my guy. I don't understand. Like, it's shaking the store. I'm not sure where we're at a disconnect here. Like, what's not the right thing? Yeah, don't. So settings are going to make a big difference, but your audio source is going to make a bigger difference. So if you can get lossless audio, it would be a huge improvement. But most things don't have lossless audio. So like if you switch from Bluetooth to USB, it'd make a pretty big difference. Um, if you switched the settings of your Bluetooth, that can also make a difference too, to less compression. So there are a couple different areas where you can make some changes that will um, also improve your audio quality. This is the one that's super annoying to tape because you can't get tape around the power. What do I call it? Around the power filter. So right now you can't see it, but I'm gonna show it to you in a second. Just let me get these wires. All right. So here's a power filter, right? I can't get tape around that, so I have to cut pieces of tape to wrap it around. It's kind of silly, but it's the way it has to be. Let me just do it one more time. Yeah, I remember one guy who came from another store and was not happy with his system. And I'm like, damn, they got this guy good. And then after dealing with the guy, I'm like, nah, this guy just sucks. And some customers just be like that, man. He just all right, so his first complaint was he spent $3,000 on a system and the system sounds worse than his factory system did. This was on a BMW. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, my other system was louder. My other system had better bass. Meanwhile, he had a factory sub before and he has a box now. Yeah, totally. Better bass. Yep. And just other wild claims. And he said that the other store just stopped dealing with him because they just basically couldn't satisfy him, is what he said. So he was wondering what changes would I make and if I could tune his system. So I looked over it all. I'm like, damn, they got him, bro. They charged him $3,000 for this. But you know what? Looking back at it, yes, they overcharged him on some of the stuff. But when it came to labor, I don't know what people's labor rates are. And like, yeah, he paid way too much in labor than for my standard. But like some shops charge like $250 an hour for labor. So at $250, it would have been what, 4 hours? That's nothing. But anyways, he paid like $3,000. He had 2 amps. They did a full system in his BMW. He just wasn't happy. I'm like, what would I change? I would add a DSP, but that's going to basically make you have to reinstall everything, which is going to add, and he didn't want to spend that much more money. He already spent $3,000. So his main thing was how could he get his bass louder? And I'm like, okay, so you bought a 3000.1, was it Taramps or Sound Digital? I don't remember if it was Taramps or Sound Digital. I'm like, but you bought this big amp. It needs some power behind it. You didn't do any power upgrades. So I say big 3 and a secondary battery. We should start there. And then he was fighting that. He's like, why don't we just do a cap? I'm like, it's not going to make a difference. And then the whole time he just like difficult and would not listen. Why are you here asking me what I would change to make the system better? And then any suggestion I make, you try to shut down. So then just go do what you wanted to do or what you think would work. That really made no sense to me at all. I was generally trying to help the guy, but I guess he just was on edge from already feeling like he got scammed. So he was not listening to anything I say. And then finally, it's just like, hey, man, like, if none of my suggestions seem like they're going to work for you, then I would just check out another shop and see what suggestions they have. And then he came back later on, and I think he made an appointment, and he just never showed up. I honestly don't remember what happened. But I just remember the guy being so just over the top, bruh. Just doing too much. But I understand, man. Imagine you spent $3,000 and then the original shop you're working with, it's like, look, bro, we're done dealing with you. You could just go somewhere else. That's crazy. Oh, wait, a radio's going in here, so I can't use this box. Need a 10, 10, 10. Which sound deadening do you use? Which do you recommend? Oh, man. I wish I would have clipped that. There was a stream where I showed you a Facebook post for some guy who actually took the time to look at all the sound deadening material out there and rank them all. I'll see if I can find it for you, because I don't remember. I think the NBX sound deadening was up there, but I don't remember. Hold on. Let me get this kit in here. Boss Radio, baby. I remember during COVID when Boss was all we had, bro. Boss was there when no one else was there. You know who still had Pioneer radios during COVID? It was so heartbreaking, bro. You would be like, yo, you'd go to your distributor, be like, yo, I need, like, you got Pioneer, you got Kenwood? Nope. We got Boss, though. It's like, damn, no one wants to buy Boss at that time. But it was all that was there. Eventually, people started buying it. But you know who still had Boss? I mean, who still had Pioneer? Walmart did. Best Buy did. That was so stingy. So, obviously, I mean, from a business standpoint, I understand it. You're going to sell to your most important customer. Your most important customer isn't me buying 3-4 radios a month. Your most important customer is Best Buy and Walmart buying 4,000 radios a month. So, yeah, if you needed a Pioneer or a name brand radio, Best Buy and Walmart were your best options. So I know other shops, in order to have stock, would go to Walmart and just buy everything that Walmart had, because there was no other place to get anything. Like, no distributor had any radios. That was the whole, everything got shut down because of COVID. Literally, I open my shop and then COVID shuts everything down within 3 months, and then all the good supplies dries up. I made it through that though, but I still remember that shit. Fucking so silly, man. Now it's easy to get a Pioneer radio. Oh, really? Maybe. That's what his issue was. I had a Mercedes with that issue. It was like an older Mercedes. Black dude, really cool black dude. He was hella chill. He drove out from the city because his friend lived in the so I was in Bayshore. His friend lived in Bayshore. We did his car. He was happy with how we did his car. So he told his boy to come from, it was either Brooklyn or somewhere else to come so we could help him with his car because the shop that he was dealing with was giving him the runaround. But that was one of the issues. One of the issues was his antenna was terrible. He had terrible reception. They had damaged the OEM antenna. Turned out they didn't damage it. It got damaged in a car wash because then we replaced the OEM antenna and it happened again. He likes to go to the car wash. It was ripping his antennas off. But that was the other issue was like we could not get enough bass for him into the cabin. We had to just use another amp that had more power so he could feel it more. But yeah, that makes sense, man. Some seats that happens in this car right here, this Acura TL, because these seats don't fold down and they're pretty thick seats. When you want to get a lot of bass, you need to go a little bigger than what you thought you would need. Okay. I told you I would find which ones they said were the best. Sorry, hold on one sec. I hate that when I go to look for something on Facebook, I can never find it. But when I'm not looking for it, it'll show up. So just give me 1 second. I'm just looking for it. Here we go. Search sound index. Okay, I can't find it. Oh, is this the same guy? No. 1 second, YouTube. I'm still looking for it. Every time I come find it, I never find it. And then I'll be like scrolling, and like someone will have posted something on. I'm like, oh, there it is. Ah, man. Yeah, I can't find it, man. Uh, I'm still looking. I'm still looking. I'm sorry, guys. 1 sec. Here we go. I'm just gonna share this with you. So let's see this. No, because I don't know enough about sound deadening to tell you like, oh yeah, definitely this over that. So I just want to show you. So this guy actually took the time to analyze all these different sets of sound endings. So like he uses a pretty extensive test um, to analyze a lot of different sound ending. So like this guy really went down the rabbit hole. Some people are upset he didn't do certain brands, but it is what it is. Um, and then here's his explanation on results. So basically, black gold is what we used to sell, but we can't get it anymore. This was really good stuff. But you could see that right around that black gold is Amazon Basics, so it's not even bad. Uh, but if you want top of the line, this stuff's more expensive, but it is out there as well for you. But I think the one I always remember is number 7, MDX Ultra Thick. And that's this stuff right here. This is 20 square feet though. But like, if you look at that versus Killmat or Amazon Basics, where did they land? So Amazon Basics is down here. It's not terrible if you're doing a lot. And then what about Killmat? Did you test Killmat? Yeah, Killmat's all the way down here. So I go Amazon Basics over Killmat. But if you're looking for the best stuff, I would go. God damn, how much is this stuff? God damn, son. Yeah, this even has like special installation instructions. Um, but okay, so let's assume you're gonna buy it off Amazon. I wouldn't get that. If you're doing a certain area that really matters, so like the rear deck, right? You want the least vibration on the rear deck, I would get this. And then if you just want to do your doors or you just want to do some part of the car, then it looks like Amazon Basics would be your best bet. I don't know. Was Dynamat Extreme tested? Hold on. No, I wasn't. Sundown Hospital. Oh no, it was tested. Look, it's all the way down here. And then his test, he tells you like what he was looking for, and then like there's an actual graph if you understand graphs. Your boy is not gonna explain this to you because I don't fully understand this. But yeah, this is on the Bass Heads on a Budget bass group, and yeah, if you're interested, you can come look at this post yourself. It's by Chris Purdue, and there's a lot of explanation here, a lot of discussion here, um, people asking and stuff about the deadener and shit. But okay, yeah. So my recommendation to you, easiest to get, Amazon Basics. You're doing a big piece, or like say you're doing your entire car. Sorry. So like you're pulling the carpet, you're doing the interior cabin. Amazon Basics seems like the best choice. You're doing a lot of if you're doing the rear deck, you want like the most. You can't use a ton of material, but you want the material to be the most effective. Then something like this will work. This is 4.5 millimeter stick. How much is Dynamat? What the hell is here? Oh no, okay, Dynamat Extreme. All right, let me see the speaker kit. But how thick is it? Oh, it doesn't even give me details. 18 square feet, 18 by 18. Why does it not give me? That's whack. It doesn't even tell me how thick it is. Um, but yeah, man, Amazon Basics, best value for your buck if you're doing a big piece. If not, take a look at that, test results, and see to look. Yeah, I just don't know enough about sound editing. The stuff we sell is ballistic. Is it on here? Uh, no. It is compared to STP Black Silver. We sold Sound Shield before as well, so they just have better marketing. Um, that's kind of disappointing. I might change that based on this discussion. But yeah, look, the one we sell that you'll find in our store is STP Black Silver, which is this is what ballistics equates to. Is that STP Black Silver? It's pretty down there. I've also sold Soundskins. Soundskins is like the super. Is marketed everywhere. Like I'm sure you've seen Soundskin. It's a very nice looking material. I did not know that it wasn't that good. But this is Soundskins. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It has good reviews on here, but according to this, it doesn't have the best properties. But yeah, I'll move on. Let's move on to our next order. What do we have to do next? We just did that radio. Let me sort this by age. Okay. We got to call someone. Oh, actually, someone's calling us. Okay. Acura Audio Garage, how can I help you?
Hey, I was just checking on an order to see if it possibly got shipped out yet.
Sure. What is the order number?
The order is AAG 1355.
Hey, 55, not 51. Okay, 50. AAG 1355. Okay, I see for an ILX dash kit. Nope. I do need to call you though and talk to you, so this is great. What? This is Chris, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Chris. What year is your ILX?
It is a 2019.
Okay, and it only has one screen. It's a base model.
Correct.
Okay, and then what radio are you gonna install?
Oh, I have a. It is a. It's a Pioneer. It's a 9-inch screen.
Okay, it's a touch screen.
And I know that it. Yeah. I would say it's a touch screen. Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's if it's new, it's a touchscreen. Pioneer 9-inch CarPlay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, awesome. I don't need to know the exact model. If it has those features, I know which plug it'll use. All right, so your order will ship today, and then you're in Florida, so you should have it tomorrow, but it might push till Friday. But you'll have it this week.
Oh wow! Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm glad I called, man. Thank you.
Yeah. I was just about to text you. I was about to do the next order, and you're about 2 orders down, so you would have gotten a message from us. But yeah, okay. Your order will ship later today, and then you should have it tomorrow. If not, definitely by Friday.
Cool. It's my son. He's turning 18. It's for his birthday, so he's super stoked. Thank you very much.
No problem. You got it. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. All right, cool. I was just saying we need to call someone because Samuel's order has been sitting in the queue for 8 days because he has not answered any of our messages. So we need to call him. And talk to him because I don't know why it is, but people will order and then not answer our text messages. And then I can't fill your order without your info. Hopefully this guy doesn't flip out that I'm calling him 5-6. I don't normally wait this long to call someone, but I texted him multiple times, emailed, got nothing. Why is it not ringing? Put the number wrong.
Yep.
Okay, I got sent to voicemail, I think. Let's try calling him again. This time I'll leave a voicemail. It was very weird. It didn't ring. See, like that sounds like ringing. There we go. Now it actually rung. Hello? Hello? Alright. We'll try one more time, YouTube, before we get cursed out for calling someone too much. But it's like I can't ship your order if you don't give me the info I need. That time it didn't go to voicemail though, so I was planning on leaving a voicemail. Yeah, it's just ringing, no one's answering. Alright, let's try texting him again. Alright, YouTube, I'm gonna hop off stream. I will catch you guys later. Well, not later. I will catch you guys tomorrow. That guy ordered an ILX dash kit and he's not answering his phone, so I'm just gonna move on to the next order. That is a harness from eBay. I don't think this person has answered. We'll see if they have. Actually, before I get off stream, I'm just gonna message everyone that. Okay, this lady told me to text her husband, and I didn't do it. People from eBay too will place an order and then not answer their eBay messages. And it's like what happens with eBay is the most annoying thing in the world. So annoying, man. On eBay, I only sell harnesses for Pioneers and for Boss radios because they use the same plugs across all the radios. So you'll order a harness on eBay for a Pioneer radio, and then they won't answer. So then I'll ship what they ordered, a harness for a Pioneer radio. They'll get it and go, it doesn't fit. Oh, what Pioneer radio are you installing? I'm not installing a Pioneer. It's a Sony. I know that's why it doesn't fit. But sometimes they don't even reach out to say that. They just start a return. And returns on eBay actually hurt your account. So they just start a return saying it doesn't fit. And then I message them like, hey, what doesn't fit? Oh, it's not for a Pioneer radio. Then why did you order for a Pioneer radio? Like it says it's for a Pioneer radio. And that's the most frustrating thing in the world. So to prevent that from that happening, I try to message them. I message them via text message, no answer. I message them through eBay, no answer. I then go back to text message, go back to eBay, no answer. Eventually, if they never answer, I just cancel the order because it's just not worth it for you to get it and then return it, and then I get dinged, and then I have to cover the return. Meanwhile, you ordered the wrong thing from the beginning. It's very frustrating with eBay in that way. But it also helps customers who need it. There are customers overseas who need to buy from eBay so that they can use their shipping program and save on shipping. But yeah, it's so frustrating. This guy hasn't, at least his wife answered and told me to message him. So this isn't a scenario where it's their fault. That was my fault for not messaging them earlier. But I hate when that happens, man. And then on top of that, whenever they don't answer, hold on, let me just make sure I'm showing this guy's name. Demetrius, okay. When they don't answer, then on eBay, it shows that I haven't shipped the order, and then it gets longer and longer, and then you get in trouble for taking longer to ship the order. So hold on, I think since I have that one that I haven't shipped, it's going to show. Okay, yeah, look at this. It's 5 days late. And eBay does not like this. This is why I'm not a top-rated seller right now. So look, On eBay, it shows this was due to ship the 10th. It's the 15th. Haven't shipped it because they didn't answer till Monday, and then she told me to message her husband, and then I did not do it right away, like an idiot. But yeah, okay, that is good. I just spoke to that guy. That's Amp. This is a different guy. Psycho. But yeah, that's why I'm not a top rated seller on eBay right now. It's because those keep happening. It's like I could ship this order. Look, this order says it's for a Pioneer radio, right? It says right here this says it's for a Boss Double Din, right there, for a Boss Double Din. But people will not read that, so it's probably not for a Boss. So that's why I don't want to just ship it, because then he's gonna end up with the wrong thing. But it might be one of those where he did know what he was ordering. That happens too. People know they actually know what they're ordering, and they're like, just send me what I ordered. I've gotten that response before. Like, just send me what I ordered. I know what I ordered is right. What the hell? All right. Which that's perfectly valid. You know what you're ordering. I'm sorry, I'm getting in the way. I will ship it to you. Got no problem with that. I just want to make sure you ordered the right thing. Like, some people get defensive about it too. They're like, just why do you like I've got a customer be like, why are you asking me all these questions? It's like, hey man, I just want to make sure that what you ordered is what you think it is, and that you're not gonna have any issues when you go to install it. And then they kind of like relax. I wonder if they think like I'm trying to sell them more stuff, and that's why they're kind of first like, whoa, what? Well, like, why are you mad? Like, who care? Why do you care what I ordered? Okay. YouTube, sorry for this rambling at the end. I was just messaging customers who, whenever you place an order for a custom harness or a custom kit, I will message you asking you which radio you're installing, so that I can make sure that the harness that we make, so the die that we make, this thing at the end, that this connector right here is the proper one for your radio. This changes. So these will change depending on the car and the year, these gray connectors. But this right here will change depending on which radio you tell me you have. So if you tell me the wrong radio, or you buy one radio and then buy a different radio, or like you're like, hey, I'm going to buy this radio, and then you end up buying a different one, and you told us one thing, it's going to come with a different connector, and then you're going to have to reconnect this. Or, hold on, sorry, I just answered. Got it. So you're gonna end up having to cut this off and then rewire yourself, and then you paid for a plug and play. Why would you want to rewire it? So I don't want that to happen to you. That's what this all comes down to. But all right, YouTube, that's it. I'm gonna actually go eat something, then get back to work and finish my orders. I should be in good shape today. If I work hard and keep on pace, I should be able to get some orders out. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow.